We've been playing it for roughly a week and a half, but today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be going over some of the problems and mechanics that I have in this game, with the mechanics in this game. But I'm also going to be going over the patch notes that are going to be coming out, that have come out, about the updates due to be released in the start of April, towards the end of April. I have my notebook here because it was on the Gran Turismo website, but I thought I'd save you guys the trouble of having to type in granturismo.com and then read it all for yourself. And I also reworded it so it's easier to understand as well. But what I also discovered yesterday was that Gran Turismo 7, it actually got a rating of 1.6 from the users, and they said that the reasoning was that it was too hard to acquire the credits, and that it seems as though you have to buy credits. Like Gran Turismo 7, what they've done is they've made it so that it's really hard to get your credits throughout the game, and that you have to buy it with microtransactions. And as you can see up in this top corner with my 700,000, I bought that. It was $15 from the store, and that's not even the first time I've done it on this game. I never had that problem with Gran Turismo Sport, Gran Turismo 6, Gran Turismo 5, you name the game, I haven't had a problem with it, but this game I have. And with the problem of acquiring credits, it's bad because it costs a lot to buy the car for one, and then upgrading it so that you can compete in races. Like mine's only at 700 power points, and that's not even everything that I need. Like I can make this go really fast. It's got 900 brake horsepower, but the problem is that car there cost $500,000, and in this game it takes about maybe 2 hours, 3 hours to get $1 million on some of these races, and it's not okay. Like some people, like me for instance, who work or go to study, they don't have a lot of time to be on the grind like that. They just want to have a quick time of leisure and play the game. They don't have time to grind as hard as they can, and yeah. But yeah, this is the patch here, and this is what they've been saying. So they also said that they're not happy, that they're disappointed that we're not happy with the game, and that the server outage that they had was adjustments to the in-game economy which were made without a clear explanation to you all. So that is in regards to an update they rolled out a couple days ago, and they did that mid-game when I was playing even, and you couldn't actually play the game. The servers shut down for this update, and they didn't explain to us why it was happening, or even that it was going to happen in the first place. And they said that they are very sorry for what they did, and that they will give us a compensative gesture of 1 million credits. Those are only for players who have been affected, which was me, because I bought that 750,000. And it said that we will see this hit our accounts, but you have to have the game before April 25th to redeem that ticket. Now if you want that, you can get that like right now. So if you get Gran Turismo 7, which I think in New Zealand is roughly $120, then you will log on to the game, and I am pretty sure that you will get 1 million credits. Now this is also good because if you do that, they also have a bundle in the PlayStation Store to buy the game with 1 million credits in your account already. And if you don't want to do that, because of their markup, they've just given you 1 million credits. So yeah, the update that was deployed, it was to give more accurate rewards and recalculate the rewards as a whole system. And because they dropped that on us without letting us know, they're going to be rolling out an update in the start of April, and there will be a lot of events increase. They'll fix the reward system, there'll be greater balance, and we'll be given a lot more benefits than we were given to start off with. So the first thing that is going to come is they're going to increase the rewards for the latter half of the World Circuit events by approximately 100% on average. Now this is good because I'm not sure if you've heard of him, but Super GT is he's a YouTuber who plays Gran Turismo 7. And he reviewed it, and he said that there is a circuit in the latter half. I think it was Sardinia, the dirt road circuit, and it was originally 60,000 credits if you won, maybe 90,000 with the clean race bonus. But with this past update, what they did is they dropped it down to 30,000, reducing the amount of credits you could get, making it so that you would have to grind even harder than usual, which was not okay. So this 100% is pretty good. It's pretty good because it means that 30,000 will be up to 60,000, and then with the clean race bonus you might get 90,000. There'll be large rewards for clearing the circuit experience with all gold or bronze results. Now circuit experience is very difficult, so on Gran Turismo Sport for instance, I did all the circuit experience and I got all gold on all of them, and it was actually alright. There was a little bit of leeway, you could have a little bit of a mistake and still pass. But this one, the margin for error is so small that if you even just bounce on the limiter once, like you start to hear your engine go up and you're about to shift, and as you're shifting it bounces and drops your revs down, and then you change gear, that will give you a bronze. And it's not okay. I'm not okay with it. It's annoying. I can still get gold, but it's so hard, way harder than it's meant to be. I get they want it to be the real driving simulator and whatnot, and be a full real world game, but there's just some things that aren't realistic, like Dragon Tail Gardens for instance. You have to go up, drop down to 4th gear, go around that big bend, come up to that sort of weird chicane area, and go through that whole thing in 3rd. I was going the same speed, and I did all of that the way that it showed me, and it still said that I got a bronze, even though realistically that should have been a gold with the amount of speed I carried through there. But moving on, they're also adding the addition of 8 new 1-hour endurance race events to missions. These will also have larger rewards. So yet again, Super GT, he showed this example by he set up a Nürburgring 24-hour track on 200 laps, and it said that it would only give you 109,000 credits. Now that is a complete rip-off for the amount of effort and struggle you would have to go through for 200 laps. That is well over 24 hours. So them trying to give you 109,000 for that is not alright. I'm pretty sure in Gran Turismo Sport he got something like 500,000 for it, because he's done it before. But anyways, they're also going to increase the player's wallet upper limit of non-paid credits from 20 million to 100 million. They're also going to increase the quantity of used and legend cars on offer at any given time. So this is good, because there's been a couple times where I've needed a car and I'd go to used just because they're cheaper and they're normally what I need, and they'll say that they're out of stock, or they just won't have the car that I will need, and it's getting annoying because I have to go to legend cars and spend way more than I need to. They're also going to be adding updates between right now, I think this was actually uploaded on the 25th of March until the end of April, and they'll add new cars and new course layouts. So I get the feeling that doesn't mean an entire new circuit because it says course layout. I think it's just like take what's a good track? Let's take Spa for example, Spa-Francorchamps. They'll take that or something and they'll give it like a weird new layout that no one's ever really seen before, or maybe they'll just add layouts that they removed last year. They also are going to try lay out some updates later on. We know it's going to be a bit later on because they don't know the date or specifics yet, but they'll give us a notice on this website. That's the website there if you want to read this all for yourself. So they're going to increase the reward payout of limited time events as we develop as a live service. I'm not entirely sure what that means. I think it means like if we get like the servers timed out or something, they're going to give us a payout or something of more than $1 million, maybe just $1 million. They're also going to be adding more World Circuit events, so I think that means they'll be adding a few more races to that particular track. So at the moment there's a couple tracks and they've only got like 2 events or something like that, and you don't have much selection, especially if you're just trying to redo events for money, and so I think that one's a good one. They're also going to add the addition of more endurance races to missions, including 24-hour races. I have very mixed feelings with that. So I liked 24-hour races, but adding it to missions is difficult because we'll take someone like me for example who works and goes to study. They don't exactly have 24 consecutive hours to just sit and play. So I mean it's good, but yeah. They're also going to be adding the addition of online time trials with rewards based on the player's position in the online rankings. So that's good. I like that. So that means that the time trials, the online time trials, the closer or further you are from the highest ranking, depends on how much money you're going to get for that time trial. So let's say you were 10 places down from the best lap ever on that track on a time trial, and you got like 100,000 for it. But if you were, let's say 50th fastest, then you would get like 50,000 or something like that. I don't know, I'm just throwing out random numbers, but you know what I mean. And also being able to sell cars. So I already have a large selection of cars thanks to Luca, who wants me to go around collecting a whole bunch of cars through circuits. But every now and then you'll need a little bit of money. And in Gran Turismo Sport, if you needed a little bit of money and you had your career, you had your campaign, you'd just do a little bit of campaign. But if you had your campaign finished, you would just sell a car so that you could get some money and upgrade a car. And I tried doing that with this because I noticed I wasn't getting that much money, and so I tried to sell a car and there was no option of selling it, and I couldn't upgrade the car, and I was not happy. I don't know if it also mentioned it in this, but yeah, I do have a couple notes here, and I skipped completely past it. It said, so where it says increase rewards for the online races, As I mentioned, Super GT Steve Alvarez Brown, he mentioned that you only get around 25,000 credits for completing a online race, and that's with the clean bonus, and you can only do around 3 in an hour. I personally haven't done any online races yet because I want to get the campaign banged out of the way. I want to get it 100% before I do any online races. That's what I did for Gran Turismo Sport and Gran Turismo 6. But 25,000 is not enough. You got way more than that in Gran Turismo Sport. And so it's kind of disappointing. So yeah, but I also have a couple problems with this game. Number one being the roulette tickets. Now, I know for a fact that I am not the only one suffering from this. I've watched a few creators on YouTube who have opened one of these tickets and they'll get the smallest prize. Like, I'll even open one right now. I got a couple last night so that I could do this. And every 9 times out of 10, you get the small reward. Probably 99 times out of 100 actually. So I don't have very high paying tickets, but we'll do a 4-star roulette ticket. It's got some good stuff, and it'll give me okay, it's trolling. That's the first time that's ever done that to me. That's the first time I've got in a car. Maybe I need to record these more often because, yeah. Alright then, we'll try the 3-star roulette. What are we gonna get for this? Okay, KTM Expo, about 5,000. Some high lift camshafts. Small pile, there you go, that's what happens. So I got one good reward and then I got that, the 10,000. I'm not complaining, it is 10,000. But normally it's only 2,000. And I'm not exactly happy with that. My next problem being, why is the oversteer so bad? Like, I will show you some replays and we'll review them. I've given examples, and yeah, just watch. This one is a perfect one. No, yeah, this one. We'll play this one, and I'll show you what I mean by the oversteer being insanely out the door. It's probably the most botched job I've ever seen done on a game, because you can't even hit the apex and floor it out of the corner anymore. You have to wait until you're completely straightened up, and it's not exactly something I like to do. I like to hit the apex and nail it and go for it out, but you can't do that anymore. So here's the replay. We're going to play the replay. I'll turn on the race info and we'll go to about lap 3. No, lap 3. Oh, I went down positions there. What happened there? Oh, that's right, this is Interlagos. So yeah, normally you can come full throttle through here, and I tried that and I spun out. I wasn't exactly happy. And admittedly, yes, I do have my traction control off, but on Gran Turismo Sport, Gran Turismo 6 and Gran Turismo 5, and I think this was in Gran Turismo 6 actually. In Gran Turismo Sport, I would race this track with my mate, and we would thrash around here in a couple of Chevys, and every time we would come through that corner at full speed. This one, same thing, you can hit that apex and floor it out and just hold left. And that's what I did. And then it sent me off, expectedly. And then what got me was I came off, I tried to go on, and I turned just a little bit and it threw me into the wall. I didn't even properly have dirty tires. Another example is up here. I went full throttle, no, just over half throttle, and it threw me out. Just over half. And it said that I had too much power to the rear wheels. But then if we go down, and we go back to this focus, we can see they come in, hit the apex, medium throttle, full throttle all the way through. And their traction control isn't even activating. Like, it's on, but it's not activating. They're not, it's not being active. Oh, that's the wrong button. Which, that's really annoying. The other issue I have, you come up here, you clip this last apex and you floor it into this hairpin. Now I redid it on a different lap, not this one, and it didn't work. It stepped me out. And that was even with me easing the throttle on. That wasn't me stomping on it, I was easing it on. These problems I have, you may say that I'm just being really aggressive with the car. This is the way this car is driven. I would ease the throttle on and it wouldn't work. And it would oversteer and push me out. It's not even the only car that does it. There's a Corvette C7 that... C7? No, not a C7. It's a 1969 Corvette. Same thing happened again, by the way, but that time I went full throttle, not just over halfway. I have a 69 Corvette and it is not drivable. You can't steer on the throttle in this game. Oh, that's another thing, you can't steer on the brakes. So in Gran Turismo Sport, sometimes if you missed your corner or you missed your braking point, you would turn a little while still braking so that you can still try and make the turn. But this one, if you try and do that, you can't turn, you just continue going in a straight line. And it's really starting to annoy me. There's also up here, yet again, this is me trying to set a good lap. And I only just went over halfway and it tried to step me out there. And over here, I missed my braking point and just over half throttle and it stepped me out again. Not even dirty tires, I wasn't even on the grass long enough for them to be dirty. We come around this hairpin and normally you can come out of here and go full throttle, but I have to go half. And most of this track was done on half throttle, which honestly, it didn't exactly make me happy. I like being able to accelerate, and most of the time I can on this track, even in a Camaro. And it's not just because the car has been overpowered. It's got racing soft tires. It's got an active slip diff, limited slip diff. It's got a variable transmission. I've got a torque vectoring LSD control. I've got a supercharger, Sure, the engine's been modded out, but I've also modified the suspension to go with it and the brakes, and yet it still doesn't drive through the corners the way it's meant to. Now this lap here, this is me showing you how this car is meant to be driven, apparently. So you come up to this corner, come round, and you're not even half throttle, and you go through there, still not even half throttle, and you have to slowly accelerate, like way slower than normal. You come up here, no throttle, no brake, a little bit of throttle at that second apex, come up here, still not even on the gas yet. This annoying Mustang decided to get in my way and be really slow. You accelerate all the way up. Gear 3, I don't know what it is, Gear 3 in every single car that I own always tries to step you out. And you can't, normally, when you're accelerating rapidly, you can stay full throttle after your gear change. But this one, it's asking you to change your gear from second to third and slowly put the accelerator on as it's accelerating, like I'm doing right now. And I've never seen any car that tells you to do that. I have another replay. It's one around Daytona infield, and yeah, it's probably the best example I can show you today. Oh, pretty sure it's this one. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. By the way, I may have mentioned that I am trying to get into racing in real life and trying to study mechanics. I don't know if I mentioned to you guys, but I was dealing with some personal stuff for the past couple of weeks, which is why I haven't uploaded. I also have, yeah, I may be getting into some actual online esports in a couple weeks, because on one of my Instagram accounts I posted a video of me thrashing a lap on Gran Turismo 7, and yeah, they asked me to come down and have a look at their shop, so I'm gonna be having a look. But anyways, this is the replay. We'll look at most of the laps here, because the first one was a bit sloppy as I was still getting used to this car with it being so fast, because I gave it a fresh modification just before this race. And yes, I did hit that forward by accident. I didn't mean to. But yeah, you'll be hard on the brakes coming to this apex. And normally, you'll see that exit and gun it, but I already tried that before, and the car stepped out on me. You'll come in, hit this apex, and as soon as you see that exit, you can gun it, which is what I tried to do. It didn't let me, because it tried to step me out. A lot of these corners, you hit the apex, and you put your foot through the floor, but you just can't with these cars. And it's getting on my nerves, because I've never come across any Camaro that will step me out as soon as I come out of the corner. This one, you hit the apex, and you can see the big straight bank up there, and you just can't floor it. Even when you're on the bank, you can't floor it yet, because the car will step you out. I didn't actually realize how beautiful my car looks. That one I didn't give the Corvette enough space, that's on me. However, I did manage to keep it together and make sure that I didn't go off the track. But there, normally you can go full throttle out of that first apex facing that bank, and you just can't. Because there was one lap where I tried to do that and it just spun me out. Didn't step me out, it spun me out. There's some parts on this track that are just absolutely atrocious with these cars. Now, I did actually miss that apex there, but we won't talk about that. And come up here, and as we come into this kink, so excuse me, you come round, brake all the way down to second, flip that apex, and you nail it right now, but you just can't. And over here, brake down to second, see the exit and gun it, but you can't. If you are turned in the absolute slightest with these cars, especially the American ones, I don't know what it is, I've never had this problem with any Gran Turismo game. If you are turned in the slightest with any car and you try to accelerate out of the corner, it will step you out. I have a Skyline which I modded as well, which really doesn't turn on the brakes, and I've fixed everything that I can, thinking that is related to the brakes and why it wouldn't turn. And if you accelerate out of the corner after hitting the apex and you are still turned a little, you will step out and you will spin. If you wait until your car is completely straight and facing the exit, then you'll be fine. Like here, I'm only a little throttle, half throttle, mid throttle, half throttle, and then up, and then none, because I would step out. And then I come around here, second throttle, second gear, half throttle, full throttle when I'm fully straight. Come through here, you can't go full throttle through this bit, you have to coast through because your car will step out. You come down here, brake down to second, fair enough, because you've hit your braking point as soon as you come out of that kink, especially with this car. And then you have to wait until it's fully straight. I mean, what the fuck is this? I've never had this problem with any Gran Turismo game. And right there, that was when I tried to accelerate out because I could see the straight. And it said, no, not today, sir, you have to wait. I mean, this is... I have never come across any car except for like a really hyper car where all the power goes straight to the rear diff and goes straight to the rear wheels, and it's got insane overdrive where it just steps out when you accelerate. I mean, the only one that I can really think of in the last game is maybe the Mercedes AMG. That was one of the courtesy cars, and that's probably the worst one I can think of. All the others, if you were well controlled through the corner, you could accelerate on the apex, but this one, here's the apex right there. Normally you'd start accelerating, but no, you have to wait until you're straight. That's an apex there, you could accelerate, but no. And you saw me step out there. Here, yet again. Hit that apex, accelerate, but you can't. You have to wait until you're fully straight. Now I think it's this lap. I did have a bit of a pants moment, but yeah. and you'd accelerate there, and you just can't. My point being, I shouldn't have to wait until my car is fully straight to accelerate. I've never had that problem. Gran Turismo Sport, I could accelerate as soon as I hit the apex. Gran Turismo 6, same thing. As soon as I hit the apex, I can get on the gas. Gran Turismo 5, same thing. As soon as I got on the gas. This is the only game in my 5 years of playing Gran Turismo, I am only 18, please don't come for me. I have never had this problem. I've never had the problem of having to wait until the car is fully straight. I could accelerate mid-turn, I could brake while turning, and I was pretty good at it, but it wouldn't let me. No, nice. I've been playing for 67 years now. I made 370. All the way down to 100. Came around that corner, completely missed the apex. And this was me giving you guys examples. So here, I wasn't that brave there, but I did try go a bit earlier on the gas. Through here, I think I was actually on the gas through here. No, never mind. There is an example coming up. This track really bit me in the bottom around here. So I was absolutely gunning it. I got on the brakes, came around this corner, I saw the exit, and we're just over half. If you have a look at my throttle, which is right next to my speedo and my gears, I came around this corner, on the brakes, around the corner, saw my exit, just over half, maybe 3/4 on my throttle, and it spun me out. And look at my throttle when I'm trying to accelerate with this car. I mean, what is this? I've never had this problem. I don't have traction control, but I've got a differential in there that's acting the way it's meant to. It is a limited slip diff, and I've set it up so that the wheels, they try and spin at different speeds so that I don't have my spin out problem. Now up here I also give you guys another example. So I hit this apex and went for it like I normally would on Gran Turismo Sport 6 or 5, and it spun me out and gave me that. Now I didn't mind giving good reasons to back me up here, because I did happen to have a 30-second lead, but this is not okay, and especially with the amount of money it takes to try and fix this that you just can't get because the game doesn't let you get credits. So this was just a review video, but it started to turn into a rant, and I apologize about that. So I'm going to take you guys through some of my tracks, and we're going to do some missions together. But yeah, if you guys have any problems with Gran Turismo 7, please leave them in the comments. Let me know how you feel about it, and I can try and bring them up. Oh yeah, that was a championship as well. What was it? Porsche. Guess I need to upgrade my car. Okay, well, I might actually leave a gameplay video for another day and another time. But thank you guys for watching my rant and watching me play and watching my replays. Leave a comment on what you want me to upload and what you want to see me recording and playing, and I'll see what I can do. Also, don't forget to please subscribe. It's alright, you don't have to, but it is free, so if you want to, you can. You don't have to leave a like, but if you do, much appreciated. And I guess I'll just see all of you guys in the next video. Have an awesome day. Peace out, guys.